Welcome everybody to today's workshop. My name is Thomas Pollack. I'm working here for Havok Korea, and I hope that everybody gets a good impression from our today's presentation. Thank you. I just have a few slides as introduction, and then we start working on the computers all together, and we will do short breaks so that everybody can catch up. Okay, so this is just a short overview of what we are going to do today. So just one slide as introduction for Project Anarchy to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And the next 3 points will be the process of making a real game altogether. So we're starting with vForge, with the basics, doing some scripting there, and polishing the whole level. And then we will deploy the whole game with the vPlayer on your mobile phone. So I hope everybody brought the mobile phone and the USB cable so that we can really deploy it. Yeah, and the last part, if you have enough time, we also do a short Blender introduction so that you know how you can create your own assets. Okay, so what is Project Anarchy? It's good to understand that Project Anarchy is a bundle of 4 products, and you get not a single program where everything comes together. It's really 4 products that have a binding to work together. Yeah, we have the vision for graphics simulation. We have physics, which does the physics simulation. AI for a nav mesh, and animation studio, which has a tool side, so a separate program, and also a runtime side. And I would invite everybody to check out also our homepage where you can download the whole bundle and also discuss on the forum. It's projectanarchy.com/ko for the Korean version. Yeah, and it's totally free for Android, iOS, and Tizen. So whatever you make your games, you can put it on the Google Play Store, on the App Store. You can sell it. It's completely free. Okay, and today's workshop is based on the Zero to Hero tutorial. So we are doing something very similar, not exactly the same, but if you want to extend your game or modify it, that's a good resource to look things up, how it's done, and also to get the assets there. And until now, we published on the web everything until the 5th chapter. And the following chapters will be published on maybe once a week, on a base of once a week, so that you can slowly progress your project. Okay, so today's game will be something like Alkaኖid. So for this game you have the paddle and the ball, and you bounce the ball so that you can shoot down the blocks. And that's a rough sketch of how our game will look like. And maybe it's good to keep the rough dimensions in mind. So we will make a board with 6 by 8 tiles, and of course the blocks are completely up to you. This is just an idea how you can arrange the blocks. And here we have some information on the units. For instance, here we have a tile which is used here, and it has 500 by 500 units. And accordingly, we also have some wall tiles here, which also have the dimension of 500 and the height of 350 here and here. Okay, we can switch back to that slide if we need it. It's just good to have a rough idea about the dimensions we are going to use. Okay, so now I would say everybody just close everything that might be open, just to avoid confusion. Close your vForge or whatever you already opened. And on C or D you should have a Havok folder. And everybody should have a Alkaноid project start folder. If not, please tell us, then we can quickly copy it on your PC. Okay, and I prepared an empty project there, so just double click the Alkaноid project. Okay, and it's empty. We have no scene because we start from scratch. Okay, so the first is really to create a new scene. So we press the button, create new project or scene, and it's always good to organize things well. So I already prepared a scenes folder. So select the scenes folder, and I just give it a name like level 01. And here we have a little setup dialog. We use all the default settings, so just press next, 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 and then OK. So we created an empty scene, so there's nothing in there. Let me just briefly explain a few things about vForge, our level editor. To manage all the different applications in vForge, we have different layouts here. So, for instance, the default layout is the one I would use when just creating new shapes or just editing the positions or orientation of shapes. And we will use some of these layouts. Let me just show some of these, like the scripting layout when you do some Lua scripts, or the particle editor layout in case you're creating some particle effects. But we will come back to that in a few minutes. So everybody please switch to the default layout. Okay, so the first thing to start with is we should access some assets. So if you have no asset tab here, just press this little button, which will bring up the asset browser, and you can dock it any location. And in the asset browser, we can see all the assets that exist in the project. And right now, I'm just interested into the static meshes. So I'm clicking here the check mark for static meshes. And here we can see the static meshes that already exist in the project. And we will start with making the floor. And just drag the floor tile into the viewport. And I can move around, and you should make it like the x-axis is on your right side, so that the red arrow should point to your right side, so that the board is laid out in the right way.